Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, So Fresh Prince, back again with another As a Man podcast. We are aiming at episode 5. Ooh, look at us.
Big five.
5 episodes in. We didn't get canceled yet. We'll see. Uh, but today could be the day. Probably not. Who knows? And all that good stuff. Uh, So before we do begin, I want to give a shout out and appreciation to all those who listen, to all those who take the time out of their day to listen to the podcast, maybe either hearing it live and or listening to it
hmm
on YouTube. If you might have missed it, you can always catch it on my YouTube channel as So Fresh Adventures to listen to the full panel discussion and all that good stuff, where we do talk about pretty much any and everything kind of relatable. So yeah. So again, if you do miss it live, you are able to listen to it as a YouTube channel. I do put it in self promotion, so always stay tuned on that. It always comes out every Sunday until I feel like it should come out on a different day. But other than that, yes, I am here today with me. I still have Meek the Savage.
Yo, it's good, y'all.
Shout out to him. Shout out to the co-host. Not sure where Judah is, but he may pop up later or not. It's fine. Again,
You somewhere.
yes. So as we do and as we go about, we are free to have people come up, speak their piece about whatever we discuss, or things they just want to, get off their mind and or chest, things of that nature. I do want to give a special shout out to my best friend. Today is her birthday, but by the time this is released, video version wise, it'll be been past. But yeah, so today is December 29th, so it is her birthday today. So shout out to her. Wish her nothing but the best on her birthday and hope she's enjoying it. I may see her later. Who knows? But as far as that goes, let's get into today's episode of the As a Man podcast. So
hmm
there is a quite a bit things I do want to discuss. One of them being, as everybody knows, I usually get interesting topics off of TikTok because TikTok is an interesting place when it wants to be, and
hmm
and what I am putting in the As a Man chat. If you do want to catch what I do put in or what we may provide or talk about, granted, you usually say the topics that we discuss and all that good stuff, but what we usually talk about, you are free to join the Sensational Discord. The link is always in the description if you want to catch it live. But what I did put in the As a Man chat is in regards to the word female. Now,
Mm.
for all those who may or may not know, apparently the word female has lost its meaning in a sense, and now it's becoming a word of degradation towards women. Go figure, right? So
Crazy.
yeah, I put a little screenshot and it says the word female is a slur. Men only say female to be disrespectful towards women. Granted, right now we don't have any women in the audience to really speak their piece, but anybody out there who is a woman, if you would like, you can always leave a comment in the comment section, discuss what you need to state. Or if you would like to speak more about it, maybe in this podcast, you are free to join the Sensational Discord. Again, the link will be in the description below. But me, how do you feel about the word female?
I'm not gonna lie. I actually almost had a situation like this because it's funny to me because I didn't take it seriously because it makes no sense because you're a female, you're a girl, you're a woman. It's like that's what you are. That's what you biologically are, a female. But it's just like for some reason I don't know how it just became disrespectful somehow. But oh well, I let it be. Yeah, I could be mad, but just not at me because I actually got nothing to do with me. But it's just a word for real. I don't know how they getting offended.
I ain't gonna
How you feel
lie.
about it?
I could I could I could say I could say a lot more just because I understand the connotation of why they feel like female is becoming disrespectful because we're using it as a replacement for the B word. Let's be honest. If I felt like being disrespectful, I just call you the B word, if
Yeah.
not worse. So me saying a female is not causing any rift raff or me trying to be disrespectful or me causing a slur or whatnot. It's legit me just stating the gender that you are. Because like on most paperwork, especially when it comes to jobs and things of that nature, they ask, "Are you male or female?"
Makes no
So,
sense.
so you're not gonna feel no type of way in regards to that about, oh well, that's a slur against me. The job I'm applying to shouldn't be answering me or stating if I or requesting if I should clarify if I'm a female or not. It's not that big of a deal,
Mm.
and especially in the times that we have, treading lightly on this topic, where a lot of people are transitioning over to being another gender and whatnot. It is a form of clarification in a sense. This is just me stating, but it is some form of clarification to where if I'm getting asked a question about, oh, who was I hanging out with, or where am I going, or who I'm situating myself with, and I can obviously say, oh, well, I'm hanging out with a couple of female friends, or I'm hanging out with my female best friend, da 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 da, this that and the third. Because if I just blatantly state, oh, I'm hanging out with my best friend, and then Laura comes to find out that it was a woman, not too many people are receptive on that, and by that I mean usually when you're in a relationship, not too many women are receptive on the whole you having a female best friend and this that and the third and blah 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 blah, right? So do I think the word female is becoming a word of disrespect towards women? No, but I do think that not all, but those who do take it as disrespect are kind of dragging it to the point to where it generally doesn't need to be dragged, because it's not that huge of a deal to understand why men, maybe not all, but a good majority of men may state female as just a regular ass word that we're just using. Soon enough, it's going to get to a point where me calling you a woman is going to be disrespectful, and then that's a whole nother thing. So then it's at this point, and all those who are women who hear this and have their own states or opinions, you are always free to state it. And we are open minded around here, so we will listen to you to your entirety.
Facts. What Fredo said. I'll show you disrespect if you want me to, for real.
Bet Jay. But in all this entirety, if you generally feel like the word female is being disrespectful towards you or to anyone else that maybe like your mom, grandma, whatever the case may be, you are free to state it and just tell us why that you find it a form of disrespect if you do look at it as disrespectful. But yeah, that's just a light opener that I wanted to get into and whatnot.
Low light. What happened? Yeah, Ozzy said he got a topic first. Let's talk about the pronouns and the 50 different sexualities.
Okay,
Chris, how you feel about that?
treading lightly on this one as well because
On God.
these are leading topics that can get us canceled if the right group hears it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, the pronouns things I get it. Like not everybody identifies as a certain pronoun, especially when it comes to those who are transitioning to a different gender per se and whatnot. So I understand why they want their pronouns to be announced, but again, it's gonna take some time before that really becomes an implemented thing. Because at the end of the day, if I'm speaking to you over the phone and hear your voice and I think maybe, or maybe if I even see your name, whatever the case may be, but like, let's say I pull up an account or whatever and I see the name that is a male name, right? I'm not going to firstly assume that you are a woman of the sense, or your pronouns are her, she, and all that, off of what I am hearing and what I am
Mm.
registering as what your name is. If your name is James Gordon, right? But you tell me that you are a woman, Well, I apologize one for not knowing that you were a woman, but I can't go about that from just looking at your name and hearing your voice, especially if your voice is deeper as mine and whatnot.
Because of that.
But hey, it's gonna take some time for these things to kind of implement. And then for the 50 different sexualities, granted, again, treading lightly on this one because I'm not trying to get canceled.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. Sexuality is a weird
It's
thing.
different. That's the best I can say. It's different. It's different and confusing.
Yeah, yeah, for the most part, because yeah, it's just
There's not that much we can say for real, because we can't say the wrong thing. You know.
it's weird, right? Because if we're really talking about sexualities, there's different sexualities in regards to what people view as and what the scope is and all this other stuff. So
Zoophile? What's a zoophile?
can't really be mad at what people sexuality can be. Do I think a lot of them are needed? No. Do I believe like the vast majority of what people state are to be their true sexualities? No. But who am I to say and who am I to go about in stating what other people are interested in, what has an attraction to other people, things of that nature, and all that good stuff. It's kind of just weird. And as I do look into the audience, we do have uh, one of our vastly members who is a woman of great taste, and shout out to her. Uh, I do have a question if she is able to hear me. Do you take the word female as a disrespectful word and or a slur? Just let us know in the chat, or if you like, you can always come up and speak. But yeah, so
I'm just figuring.
your mic had cut out.
It's like it's very very confusing. Like, you know, it's different for real. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying it's confusing for real.
Facts, it is, and I can't be. Oh, she typed me in a different chat. It can be. You feel me? So it's not like I would fully understand because even at the current age that I'm at now, it's kind of like I'm still I'm still kind of getting used to how the world is changing. First it started off as one way and became another, and so on and so forth. So it's very much so just becoming something that we all just have to adjust to, and all kind of just have to just go about. Can't really fight it. Can't really argue it. Can't really state that this is wrong or this is right or this is unnecessary. This isn't, because at the end of the day, it is based upon the overall view of how everybody else feels. If you like, you can always raise your hand to come up and speak if you don't feel like typing, but just let me know. Yeah, and that's generally just how I feel. Like, you can't really tell anybody what their sexuality is. It's their overall choice and things of that nature. Uh, but do I think we need a different title for the same sexualities, just explained differently, or just have the 1 to 2 words maybe different? No, I'm gonna keep it a stack. Like, no. But hey, things come and go.
It is
Things,
what it is for real.
yeah,
That's the best we can say. It is what it is.
yeah. That's pretty much it. Uh, so knowing about this podcast, last time we spoke about the Tory Lanez situation, and we all kind of stated our piece. Recently, as we heard, recently as we heard, Tory Lanez did get charged for. Oh, my bad. I
Three
have a
counts, they said.
I have a tendency of speaking away from my mic sometimes. But what was I saying? Yes, he got charged for 3 counts. I don't have the information in front of me and all that good stuff because I delete things as I go because I don't like a lot of storage in my phone. But it was about carrying a semi-automatic weapon, uh, an unregistered gun in the car, and then I think negligence or and something about shooting. Okay, so I see we have very mixed opinions in the chat or in the audience. So, Jen, let's talk about it. If
I'm not. Oh, muffle. Go ahead.
no, you good. If I understand that the court system goes about their own ruling and things of that nature, and how do I speak about this? Because this is also something I tread lightly on. The courting and how they view things and how they go about things is most definitely their own way. But damn near 23 years for that.
Yeah, I was about to say that's
20,
mad time. That's
23, like that's a long time.
that's
I'm
wild.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like that's pretty much that is pretty much you taking a murder charge, and I mean that's that. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. At that point, if Tori did or if Tori didn't, because at the end of the day, I was not there. I don't know what happened, but if he did, then he might as well have caught, really caught a body for that. Not gonna lie. And if he didn't, then I really do hope that at least some form of the sentencing can be altered or anything, because 23 years,
God damn.
like we really have to think about it. That's 23 years. Most of us right now are in our 20s. Imagine spending
That's
23 years in isolation. You're coming out in your 40s, damn near 50s at that point.
that's basically the rest of his life for real. If you think about it, my man is not getting out. Oh man, 20 some years.
Again,
That's wild.
there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can state, but from what I said last podcast, make sure you are careful about who you hang around with and who you invite in your circle and things of that nature, because it can get serious out here, right? And I know none of us want to spend 23 years off of something that we didn't do or anything that has nothing to do with us and things of that nature, but it's just shit. Like, what is there to do after that point? Um, it's kind of weird how certain situations played out. Honestly, there is no evidence. There is evidence. That person's nowhere to be found to speak upon it, and then shows up like after the charges have been dealt and things of that nature. I don't know. In hindsight, if this is me speaking, and this is my view, and all this other stuff, but if Megan did, get shot, I do wish the best for her and her health and things of that nature and whatnot, and I am glad that some form of justice was served. If she didn't get shot, kind of a bad take.
That take is crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, because it's already hard enough being black in America, first and
That's
foremost,
true.
and then there's always a divide. There's always some argument. There's always some fight with black women and black men, which is a whole nother thing. And then you have the court system, and then people of the non-black culture or non-black race who oppose our race very, very strongly enough to want to see us in jail and whatnot. I'm not gonna lie. If this topic is gonna result into people fighting in the audience, I rather not speak about it anymore, because I don't need two people going back and forth over crazy stuff.
It's pointless.
All right, so yeah, so still just gonna say the last piece. But I again, everybody just protect yourselves. Be careful about who y'all hang around with and the situations y'all get into, and things of that nature. Don't want to see any of y'all going to jail or you know worse in other situations and things like that. But moving on to the next topic, because we not doing that arguing in the audience. This ain't what this podcast is for. It's supposed to kind of just be a group selective of us bonding and having these discussions. But yeah,
The next time. Yo.
I don't got time for the arguing, and I ain't trying to hit nobody with a timeout or a ban today. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Um, yes, but the women in the audience, because y'all weren't here before, but we did discuss about the word female being used as a slur and or terms of disrespect. I'm not sure if y'all want to come up and state something before we move on, or y'all good. Y'all can always raise your hand to come speak if y'all are free to. You feel me? At work. Got you. Inky, I see you there. I'm not sure if you wanna say anything. Okay. Give her some time to respond. But yeah. So going about the next topic. So 2022 is almost over. You feel me?
Yes,
It's
sir.
getting into 2023. Speaking to my
That's it.
habit. Getting into 2023 and all that good stuff before the year is over. Anyone got anything to say in regards to how their year has been? Whether it's been up, down, whether if it gave you a new insight on life, whether if it opened up new opportunities for you for the next year, things of that nature. Meek, I'll let you get into the floor and speak about it.
Yeah, not gonna lie, this was a strange, like the last. I'm not gonna lie, like the last past 2 years has been really really weird. Like a lot of shit like we didn't expect to happen. Like the last 2 years, especially 2022, was very very unexpected. But so, like there was a good, like there was up and downs, But I hope it's so better for next year because this year was just unpredictable for real.
Not I feel you. It's very much has been. It's very much has been an unpredictable year. Um, I want to be mess ups without fresh because I most definitely did a mess up. But hey, it'll be one take Drake because we're not doing it over on here. But as far as 2022 goes, it has been slight mess up. Not slight mess ups. It's been hectic. I'm not gonna lie. Um, for me, it's been a roller coaster of things to dealing with certain people, dealing with certain situations, environments, personal stuff going on in life, just trying to figure out where life is taking me and all this other stuff, looking for opportunities, trying to get back into certain habits and certain things that I very much enjoy and or do and things of that nature to just getting stressed out and drained, and it's been a lot. So I am hoping for better times for the new year and things of that nature. Um,
True, true.
you know, Trying to see what this YouTube stuff is all about. Needing to tap back into making music again. So
Mhm.
I won't say be on the lookout for that because I don't know when I'm ever going to drop a project. But whenever I decide I want to drop something, I'll let the Discord know and let people know and all the other stuff and all that good jazz. But as far as that, I am just hoping about new things popping off, better environments, just positivity all around. Building bonds with certain people, networking, about doing different things and all that good stuff. So I do hope that next year does bring about that. Granted, I'm not gonna hope. I'm not gonna say I hope. I do wish and will undoubtedly want that to happen to where not only me as an individual can grow, but also those around me, those within, my close circle and all that good stuff, and even people who I've met over the course of years whether there's been a falling off or not. I just wish all the best for them and what they're getting into. So yeah, that's kind of just my take. I'm not sure if anybody else has a take they wanna state. Come up here and speak your piece and all that. Yeah, I feel you, Fredo. Um, but yeah, so closing up the year, things are moving. I'm not gonna act like things aren't, like gears aren't moving and whatnot, but it 2023 hopefully is a much better year than what people might have dealt with in 2022. Right? Because I'm not gonna lie, holidays did not feel like holidays.
On God, not this year. This year was different. It did not feel like no holiday at all. Christmas was not Christmas this year.
Like Christmas did not feel like Christmas, and I don't know why, but it was just like it just felt like another regular day. Because it just felt like
Facts. It
another
didn't even
regular.
snow where I was at. It did not snow this whole December at all. Did not a single thing of snow.
But can't be mad at it. Sometimes when you just get older, those holiday spirits just don't feel the same no more, and because they don't feel the same, ain't nothing you can do about it. But let me see. I know I got some topics written down because I always do. So still speaking on 2022. Now let's have a little bit of fun with it and whatnot. So thing I do have written down here is, what would you call this year if you had to give it a name?
What would you call it?
The year of bullshit.
Nah, bullshit's crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, that's generally what it feels like to me. I don't know. It just seems like I dealt with more negativity than positivity in the sense, and it's not like I'm not thankful for the positive moments that happened, but it's just like, damn.
I felt you on the damn because this was like a different year for real. I will call this year probably like. I'll probably call it. I don't know. I get shit. That's the word. I don't know. This was a I don't know year for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it kind of felt like a limbo-ish type of year. I'm not gonna lie. This is the year of the pregame. Unc, I do see your question that we are just gonna touch on. The waking of the beast. Okay. I see. But yeah, not upset about I'm not upset about 2022 overall. I do understand. Things happen. Things happen. Things go about it a certain type of way. Kind of is just what it is. Like, you got to take the good with the bad with the good, all that good stuff. But honestly, this felt like more negative than positive. Like, but back on to bigger and better things all next year. Wish everybody the best in what they're doing, whether it's a business, whether if it's some form of content creation, whether if it's just trying to just enjoy life peacefully and all that good stuff best way possible. Then I wish you all the best. I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna wish nothing bad on no one, regardless of how I may feel. But
wish happiness on all my peoples.
Facts. But Unc did state, because he does have a question that we can remotely speak on. In the comments, he said, "Would you respect someone that told you that they lied to you because they're protecting your feelings, or would you rather them tell you the truth?"
Not gonna lie, I'd rather you just tell me the truth for real. Cause like, if you're holding something back due to my feelings, that's not real to me. Cause like, as like a friend, you gotta be 1,000. You gotta be 1,000 with me. Like, I wouldn't be mad if you just told me, but it's like if you're hiding shit, then it's like I'm gonna feel different. Cause like you could just told me.
I feel that. I honestly do feel that. Cause me, I rather, I rather you generally tell me the truth than lie to me. Cause once then I find out that you lied, then it's like I lose all respect for you.
That's a fact.
But if it's something that you're doing because you because this, let me get my words correct. Because at the end of the day, it's you don't know how I'm gonna act with you telling me the truth. So don't assume you're gonna know how I'm gonna act. Like if you're assuming that he's gonna be mad at me or he's gonna be upset or he's gonna start talking to me because you told me the truth about something which forced you to lie to me. You don't know how I was gonna respond. So let's not act like you have me down pat on how I'm gonna react in every situation if I'm not in those situations. So it'll be best for you to tell me the truth, so then I can react how I see fit, and then bada boom, bada bing. That's kind of just it.
Or that's the best you can say for real.
Because once that lie kind of sits into place, and then I find out it's a lie, then trust is broken. And at that point, if trust is broken, what can you do from there, right? So yeah, that's generally my take. That's my view. That's my overall scope on it. Uh, could y'all date a female with kids? If so, how many kids? Ugh. That is a good question. Could I date a female with kids? Yes. How many? Mm. Mm.
Personally, me, I couldn't do that because I'm still kind of young and I don't feel like being nobody's stepdad for real. I'm only 19.
Mm. I mean, I'm not. I'm 26, so my scope of things is a lot different. But can I date a woman with kids? Yes, I could. Shut your ass up, Jay. I could. Shut your ass. Both of y'all can. Both of y'all can get hit with a ban. Anyway, besides the point. Lost my train of thought. This is recorded in front of a live studio audience. Just letting y'all know that now. But could I? Yes. How many? I would say probably the most. This could be me pushing it, but probably like two, honestly. And that's kind of like the very thin line that I'm pushing. But I could. Nigga said I'm not 40. Why would it be 40 in Discord? You know what? I'm gonna keep pushing. But that's probably like my end scope of things. Like, but there's also a lot that you have to take into account when dating someone with kids. Like, who's the father of the children and whatnot. Like, what's the relationship? Are you two still seeing each other? Is this something I gotta deal with constantly? Like, there's a lot
Stuff
of
like that,
factors.
you gotta be careful with stuff like that. From what I've heard, you gotta be careful with stuff like that.
So it's just like there's a lot of scopes that go into it, and due to those scopes, it's just like, mm, mm, I don't know, right? There's could I would say, and this is my take on it. Nobody else has to agree. If you have that bond with the woman who may or may not have children and whatnot, and you decide you want to be in a relationship with her, whether she has kids or not, that is all up to you, right? I can't tell no one to do nothing that they don't want to do themselves. So take my words just for the percentage of what people may comprehend and whatnot. But if you have a bond to where you want to be in a relationship with someone with kids, and that is all up to you, right? You don't have to. You generally don't. have to force yourself to be in a relationship. But if you really respect that woman, maybe even have that type of bond to where you want to be in a relationship with her, and even have the relationship with her kids to where you want to have that start a new relationship with them, and all that other stuff. Go for it. I mean,
Facts. If you
nothing
really like
stopping.
that person, you do what you gotta do for real.
And then Jay said, "You seen the video of the baby mama complaining because the dad didn't buy food for all her kids." Oh, well, old topic or old video mainly, but for all those who don't know or who may not really be on social media like that and things of that nature, there was a video, whether if it was skate or not, whatever the case may be, of a lady getting upset because her the father of one of her kids, so one out of four, I believe it was four, whatever the case may be, um, bought food for his son and not the rest of the kids. Granted, he never those aren't his biological kids. When they were together, they dated for the time being. He got her pregnant. That's how fourth kid came about and whatnot. After some time, they broke up, but he's still trying to be there for his child's life, which is cool. She got mad and upset because she was wondering, well, why haven't you brought food for the rest of the kids? Why are you only bringing it for him? They're gonna feel some type of way. Da da da. I wholeheartedly agree. If I did not, get you impregnated, and those are not my kids, and we are not together, I owe no responsibility of taking care of their kids because at the end of the day, those kids have a father as well. And if I'm asking you, well, where are their father? What happens to their father? Things of that nature, or just what may be going on, and you kind of give me the blank look or the blank stare of you don't know what I'm talking about, that is back on you. Because at the end of the day, and sorry for the ladies that may hear this, and whatnot, I am not responsible for what you may do. I'm not responsible of who you sleep with. I'm not responsible of who you may see. Right? So if you decide to get pregnant by three other men, whether it's before me or after me, then those three other men should be able to step up to the plate and take care of their kids. Now, granted, I understand that not all people want to have kids, or not all people are fit to be parents, and things of that nature. There are certain environment, or not environments, but factors that do come into play about why somebody's not able to provide for their kid, right? So I can't fall to a full on degree, but I can state enough to what I can state, right? You are a full grown adult. You take on the responsibility of having kids, raising kids, whatever the case may be. You need to be at least prepared to understand that if the fathers aren't stepping up to the plate to do something, at the end of the day, you still have to, right? There's no if, ands, or buts about it. I think he even asked about like the food stamps, and she said she didn't give it to like the 7th, the 11th, whatever the case may be. And it's just like, still, like, gotta do something
Just be
here.
responsible.
Yeah, you gotta do something here. You can't be so codependent, and this is kind of what I learned, stemming into like something else differently. Can't be so dependent on people to always provide you a way out of things. Sometimes you just may have to. There's things that we all have gone through that we try relying on another person and fell short of with, or whatever the case may be. And at the end of the day, we can't blame anybody but ourselves. And the reason why I say that is because we know what we're getting ourselves into. When we get into these environments, when we get into these situations, when we put ourselves in these chess piece playing moves, right? You know exactly to what I know about, hey, this is what it is, this is what it ain't. If you can't find a solution to a problem that might have you gotten yourself into or whatnot, should you really be a part of this, you know, or should you really be partaking into these certain things? Because if you know you're not ready to be a parent, if you know that deep down inside that you may not be able to take care of multiple kids and things of that nature, at some point, and this is just me speaking, at some point, do you not think it's best to say, you know what? Let me make sure the person who I'm seeing or the person I'm sleeping with is someone who's going to be there for me long term, or is ready for a commitment in case this happens, or let me make sure that that person wraps it up and things of that nature. Granted, like I always say, mistakes happen, things happen of that nature to where we're not always prepared for everything. But we can't get mad and upset that these outcomes happen and then we're looking lost and confused because these outcomes happen. It's kind of just not how things work. So it's especially as you get older, you realize you're an adult at the end of the day. If you can't find a solution to these problems, kind of speaks volumes about you more than anything else.
Oh God.
So, yeah, that's just my take. Meek, I don't know if you have a take on it.
I can't really speak too much in it because the best I can say is just take responsibility. If you know you can't take care of a child, don't get one yet. That's too much work.
Couldn't have said it better myself. But yeah, that's just the overall scope that I have in regards to the whole baby mother situation. She knew exactly what she got herself into, whether she was still together with the guy or not. At the end of the day, if you two aren't together, whatever kid is mine is my responsibility. I can't feed the whole block about which kid and all this other stuff. Now, out of the kindness of my heart, if I was able to do it, cool. Then that's one thing. But if I'm going, I'm coming, I'm making money to support my child and make sure that I'm good and things of that nature, and that's just what I gotta do, and that's my child. But I'm not obligated and I'm not forced and I'm not demand to take care of kids that are not mine, especially if we are no longer together, because that's not how things go. So yeah, that's just generally just me. Going back into the bag of tricks. Oh, look, it's Celeste in the building. And speaking of Celeste, granted, I was waiting for her to show up. Shout out to Celeste. If I didn't say it before, go check her out on Twitch and YouTube as Famo Celeste. That's FAMO and then Celeste at the end of it. There was an interesting moment she had in her Twitch. She was streaming and with a couple of her friends, and she had a very interesting moment that I wanted to discuss and talk about. Right, and it was: do you find it disrespectful in a relationship to where? Well, let me rephrase it. In a relationship, right? You're with your significant other or whatever, you guys are out and things of that nature, and you happen to see a girl whose butt is big. Do you continue choose to stare or at least look at it, maybe do a quick glance, call it a day, with you, or be say the obvious in the room, knowing your girl is there, but do you think that's like any form of cheating, or would that be considered disrespectful? Granted, is your girl allowed to look too, and is that another form of cheating or being disrespectful? Let's talk about it.
Not gonna lie, that's kind of disrespectful.
And Celeste, you are always free to join up and state your piece because I know you were very very knowledgeable. And by knowledgeable, I mean you had a lot of information you wanted to state on this piece. So if you ever want to join up and speak about it, you are free to. And let us just have your voice be heard. Oh, hand is raised too. Don't worry, I'm inviting you up as we speak. Oh,
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry I'm late. I was sleeping, so El Celeste, El Mans. But I'm gonna see what y'all have to say. I'll definitely put my 2 cents in as a woman. But I do agree with Meek and Zay so far. They did say that it's not necessarily cheating, but it is kind of disrespectful. So I'm gonna see what y'all have to say.
okay. So you want to go last? No problem. So my take on it. Let's have fun. All right. So it very much is dependent on what the relationship is, right? Because not all relationships are built the same. Not all relationships are stated the same and whatnot. So there are some relationships where you could look, you could tell your significant other, hey, booty wooty whoop, blah 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 blah, and they may agree. Oh well, I agree, and it can be just a laughable moment and things of that nature. And there are some relationships where it's just like, yeah, don't get it twisted. I'll snuff you if you think I'm gonna let that slide. So it very much is dependent on the relationship. Celeste, from what I may know about you, granted I don't know you that well, or I don't know your relationship all that well. Just from what I know and just from being around you and being supporting you in your Twitch streams
Hmm.
and things of that nature, I take it you find that as a form of disrespect. And the form of disrespect is because like you're in a committed relationship. Why do you have a wandering eye for another person? Granted, you can always correct me if I'm wrong, because I may be smart, but I'm not a genius. So, because of that information, you or because of that, you obviously would think if your significant other looked at another woman with a big butt, that it would be viewed as disrespect towards you, the woman in the relationship, because it could be a form of him deciding if he wants to stay with you or if he's cheating on you, things of that nature. Correct?
Correct. I agree with that for the most part. Again, I don't really think it's cheating. I do think it is kind of disrespectful, but I think it's more disrespectful when, like you said, it is 100%. It does 100% depend on the relationship you are in and who your partner is. If it ever does happen to me, I don't really feel as disrespected because I do know who my partner is. But I think it does get mad disrespectful when like your wandering eye becomes a stare, or your wandering eye becomes a look at this one and look at that one and look at that one. But you
Mm.
feel me? If we're both in a setting and we see a pretty ass woman with a nice ass, I might say like, damn. You feel me? And he might be thinking the same shit. So we could, you feel me? Ha ha ha, kiki. But next topic, you know what I mean?
No,
So yeah.
I
And
feel
then
you.
I think I mean, I think that's what I have to say on it. So I think it's mainly disrespectful when it happens all the time or when it becomes more of a stare instead of just a quick look because we all see it. You know what I mean?
I got you. I got you. Meeks,
Yeah, I
what's your
felt
take?
that. You said what?
I said, what's your take?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, what Celeste said. Like it gets to a point where like it's staring, but it's like you gotta relax because you mind you in a whole relationship, so you gotta be mindful type shit.
Okay, okay. And Celeste, I did see you put another topic in that we
Right.
are going to discuss. So I would like it for you to stay up here. But if you choose that, you don't want to, or maybe you have other things to take care of, I completely understand on why you would go. But
Of
the
course,
the,
I'm gonna be here.
the next topic that Celeste had put in is 10 bodies as a man versus 10 bodies as a woman, if it has not been talked about already, because we have not talked about it. Because I was waiting for you to pop up to make sure to state these things, because I know you're very vocal about it on your Twitch stream, famous Celeste, and all that good stuff. So 10 bodies as a man versus 10 bodies as a woman. I would say, is there a difference? Yes. Now, This is me speaking. So what I may state is not codependent or the same mindset about how everybody else may think and or feel. But for having 10 bodies as a man, right? Some of us may have that luck spurt of being able to do to achieve that within, you know, a certain age range, and then there's a vast majority of us that won't be able to achieve that within our lifespan. And the reason why I say that is, especially as the times have changed now, the requirements to be able to do that outside of certain actions that may be required that are illegal that I'm not going to state because this is going on YouTube channel, and the last thing I need is my shit to get marked. So yeah, if you catch on to what I'm putting down, please and thank you. You know, achieving 10 bodies as a man, or having a high body count of 10 as a man is very much, you know, harder in a sense, because there's a lot of work that you have to put into to, one, make a girl feel comfortable enough to do that, two, being able to have the set plan to see it through, having the set achievements and things of that nature, because not every girl or not every woman is just going to be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna you took me out on this nice date, I'm gonna let you. We're gonna go all the way tonight, type stuff. There's some woman who may make you wait, you know, the first date, the first month, the first year, until marriage, things of that nature, right? So achieving a body as a man of 10 is a lot more work. So me putting in the work to at least get to that point, and granted, like I said, there's some of us who successfully have achieved that and probably exceeded that during, you know, our earlier stages of life to where we are now, and there's some of us who haven't even gotten to that point yet, or maybe not even haven't gotten to half that number yet, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody moves at their own pace and timing, and things happen for many reasons. All right, but for a woman, it is generally a lot easier for you to achieve sex from a guy than it is for a guy to achieve sex from a woman. Hear me out. This is me just speaking, and my mindset does not reflect everybody else's mindset because everybody else is different. Right? You can obviously hit up 10 guys right now as a woman and say, hey, I'm feeling this type of way. Do you want to meet up? Do you want to link up? Let's get intimate tonight. And 9 times out of those guys may actually go for it. Why? Because you may be an attractive woman, right? Most guys don't have the luxury or the ability or the capability of getting a woman's attention for long term to be able to get that for. Let's be honest here. Most dudes are horny, especially those who may not be able to have the skills provided to get a woman and things of that nature. So if, using Celeste as an example, granted, this is only an example. If any of you niggas take this into a horny way, I'm banning you off rip. So again, this is an example. If Celeste were to DM, say 10 to 20 guys right now wanting to be intimate with them, she is taken, by the way, this is only an example and whatnot, 9 times out of 10, says Celeste will get back majority of replies stating that, you know, they would be down. Can she send the location? Do they want her to pick them up? Things of that nature. You want to know why? Because Celeste marks off a lot of check marks to a vast majority of guys to where they want to achieve that. So it's very much easy for Celeste to achieve a body count of 10. She could probably do it within the day. Again, an example. If any of you drag this, I swear to God, I'm banning you.
Have you on an example? Sorry, go ahead.
You good. and whatnot. So she could easily achieve a body count of 10 within a day or two, or even probably in the first 5 hours of her waking up, right? So it's not that difficult for a woman, especially an attractive woman, or even much less a woman who could be considered average or even slightly below average, to achieve that count. Because again, like I said, not every guy has the ability or the skill set to get women to be able to do that. Realize I'm within the age that I stated earlier today, and my said body count hasn't even hit 10. So you can kind of see. I don't know about unks and other people's, but there are certain things that as a man you have to do to be able to achieve that level of getting that access from a girl or from a woman. Let me rephrase that, and things of that nature. And hey, it is what it is, right? So that is my take. Well, Unk, I said you because you're older than me, so I don't know. I don't know, where your range is
He said,
compared to.
answer that, whatever. But what you were saying, Meek?
I'm not gonna lie. From what I've seen from like that whole type of take, this is like it's hypocritical to me because like you're bashing someone for doing the same thing you're doing. So it's like at the end of the day, you're getting humpy with 10 people as the same person, so you can't really bash anybody for doing the same thing you're doing. So it's kind of like weird.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. Me personally speaking, I feel like, I feel like with a lot of the topics we touch on, a whole bunch of things come into play. So it really, depends on the situation and circumstance. But I've heard a few opinions, and I will kind of piggyback on some of the things that I agree with. I kind of do believe that it is a little bit. I don't want to say worse because, like, I don't want to say worse, but I'm just gonna use it for time's sake. So I do believe it is a little bit worse or a little bit different when a woman has 10 bodies versus a man because women are definitely more emotional creatures, and sometimes depending on the woman, their emotions get caught up with these people that they're interacting with. So I do feel like it is a little bit different overall. I do feel like, depending on the situation, I think both are kind of equally as not necessarily bad, but they're just equal. And I know Meech in the chat earlier asked about 30 bodies. If I, he asked me what I think. Me personally, I would never talk to someone that has 30 bodies because multiple things come into play. Why do you have 30 bodies? Are these one night stands? Are these failed relationships? Like, why do you have so many bodies? And I understand you feel me like I'm only 20 years old right now. So someone that's 30 years old might have 10 more than me. It depends. But a whole bunch of things come into play, especially as an adult. One night stands, soul ties, unprotection versus protection. It's many different things, but I did want to bring that question here because um, that is something that was brought up on my Twitch. But like I said, at the end of the day, I do believe that women are more emotional and they might get more attached to the people that, they have had intercourse with. So I I agree as well. It also depends, like Prince was saying earlier, it might be much easier for women to hit this person up, hit whoever up, and you feel me, it's a green light versus some men is actually much, much harder. So I don't know. I just think it depends on the reason, the explanation, and this is just me personally speaking. Like I said, I don't even want to do someone with 10 because that's just me. But that's what I have to say about it.
You were asked a question, uh, in the chat. You were asked, don't women cheat sometimes for fulfillment as well?
I think so, yes. Um, I believe so. I believe men do the same thing. Um, what do you guys think?
Okay. Well, I always make the leading joke in VC if anybody has ever heard me, and I always say that a man cheating versus a woman cheating is completely different. And the reasons why I say that is because, like House was stating, women are very emotional. So for a woman to cheat, one, they have to feel, I would say, unsatisfied in some areas of life. Granted, this is not speaking about all women. This is a majority of women who can relate and all that good stuff. And that comes into play about their relationship because most women have to build up some form of connection to a guy or to another guy for them to cheat if they're already in a committed relationship. Again, this is for not all women, but for majority of women, right? To where that could happen. So, my bad, had a scratch in my ear. But for a woman to cheat, it does take a lot more. So when it does happen, that kind of puts in the set stone of, well, you kind of just did some fucked up shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? Because not only did you build a connection with this individual, it got to a point to where then you slept with this individual and had a physical connection. Uh, Compared to a guy cheating. Granted, I always say this as a joke, but y'all can take it as a joke. Y'all can take it however you see fit, and whatever the question may be, is when a guy cheats differently compared to when a woman cheats because a guy, if he does go out and cheat, it's more so him providing for another woman, taking care of another woman, all this other stuff, blah 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 blah. Compared to if he's just having sex with another woman, it's just a normal walk in the park, right? Because the talk is that uh the talk is that men are naturally horny creatures and they just want to have sex 9 times out of 10. So if they're not getting pleased at home or their significant other isn't pleasing them, then they'll go out and whoever is able to provide that necessary feeling will do that for them. And that is kind of what it is, whatever the case may be. But how I overall feel about the scope is just that there are some unfulfillments in a relationship. A man is just as much likely to talk to a woman that he may feel comfortable with and have an emotional connection with. I think cheating can be very formed differently because I think we always think cheating is, oh well, that's you having sex with another person, to where it can differ depending on the relationship. To where Celeste, how her relationship is structured is, if you give a girl any form of entertainment, whether you respond back to a message that could be taken or looked at out of context wrongly, I would consider that cheating. To where, a lot of you may think like, having conversations is fine with another individual, but if it gets to being flirtatious, that could be considered cheating. Meeting up behind my back can be considered cheating. So there's many different scopes of what is cheating, depending on different people, right? So if you generally feel as if though cheating for you is only strictly sexual, then that is a conversation you and your partner need to have so that you are well aware. If you think it's more than that and it's an emotional attachment or things of that nature, or if I get a DM from a girl and we're having a conversation or whatnot, do you consider that cheating? Or because I didn't tell you about it, or because you weren't informed about it, or whatever the case may be. So like I said, there's always different forms of cheating and there's always different, boundaries for everybody. But that is just my overly take for it. So, not sure if anyone wants to piggyback off that.
Yeah, I agree with what you said 100%. And it's very important in a relationship to make those things clear. Like, man, communication and boundaries are so important and they need to be so clear because, like Prince said, a form of cheating to me may not be the same to my partner. But unless we come to that understanding and agreement, then you feel me, like it's not, it can harm more than it can help. So I agree with you.
Meek, do you have anything to say to that?
No, you hit the nail on that one. You said everything right for real.
And so, what I do want to speak about is Kind of before I touch into Meek's Unk's next topic, which was they say all Aries cheat. That shit sounds dumb. Or I'm not sure if that was a question, but if that was a question, then I'll speak on that. But if not, then answer the next question as I'm speaking on it. In regards to 30 bodies, Celeste, because you stated your piece on that and whatnot. I would think if we generally talk about it, right? I'm not sure how many people in here have a celebrity crush and things of that nature, but we do speak about it. I won't say heavily on this podcast, but we talk about it here and there whenever we do and whatnot. Mainly for the woman perspective on things, the celebrity crush who may be a male. If you found out that they have multiple bodies and things of that nature, bet if they have multiple bodies and things of that nature, especially 30, it doesn't deter a lot of women individuals to stray away from it, right? Because look at Future, for example. Man has like what 11-ish kids. I don't want to put it for Nick Cannon, for example. He has like 11 to 12-ish kids, right? So obviously he has gotten people pregnant, and obviously throughout life I would assume that he has slept with a mass majority of people, but doesn't seem to affect most people, if not all people, or women, for example, wanting to be with them or wanting to sleep with them. So it's kind of my take on it. Like, for a man, for having a high body count, does it really affect all the way y'all think it does, or is that kind of just an underlining kind of viewpoint of where you think a high body count would just kind of deter you away?
I think it depends on the person, because I've had some people be like, I don't give a shit what the count is as long as it was before me, or like I have some men say like, I don't care about none of them women before I'm with whoever or I'm looking for whoever. So I really think it depends on the person. But what do you guys think?
Mika, I'm gonna let you take the floor on this one because I've been talking a lot.
Not gonna lie, I don't know too much, but it's kind of like this current situation or like this topic. But it's like I agree with both of y'all for the most part. I just
Mm-hmm. Meech said, I don't care about the body count as long as your health charts are negative. W negative health charts.
What's the question?
And that's a Meech.
In terms of people with high body counts, let's say, for example, a woman you're talking to states to you, or you may ask, what's your body count, whatever the case may be, and she says, oh, well, I slept with 30 people or 30 plus people before. Like, is that a red flag for you to where you're like, no thanks, or
like context always plays a key factor here, take shit, right? Right.
That's a fact.
Because, you know what I mean? Because for one, take shit, I don't really ask shit like that, because like people always feel insecure about it, take shit, whether or not they agree to it or not, take shit. Some may give you the straight up answer, take shit, that you're looking for. Others, it might just finesse the truth a little bit, take shit. All I see it is, well, for me, take shit, I think on a veteran, I don't need no rookie, take shit. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, I need me a sniper in the game, a long time running one too. But even that whole body count shit, bro, like, respectfully, I'm 24 years old, take shit. Shorty said that shit, up there. It's like, all right, cool. You could have, got around take shit when you was younger. I open ain't right now when I'm talking to you. That's all I could ask for.
Let me ask this, do you guys believe in soul ties?
As I got a little bit older, yeah. When I was younger, I was just like, nah. Whatever I find is mine.
I don't know, right? This is me, obviously speaking, because the person who I thought I had this type of connection with, Lord and behold, she's my ex now. Am I gonna say her name? No. if you weirdos want to find her, good luck with that. Because I don't know. Because I've dated a lot throughout my years living, so have fun, um, and whatnot. So I don't know. Right now it's kind of just a weird turn of events and requires or at least in my mind to where I think that do I think you can have a strong connection, a strong bond with somebody, which could end up in the result of being a soul tie, yeah. But
Let me ask you this, Prince. Like, you
speaking,
was rocking with whoever say shit. You don't be feeling like, after you slept with a certain with a person, like you start picking up on certain traits that they have.
nah. I don't know, maybe because I'm more so like in the moment type of person, but
Oh, so you fucking and dumping? Got you, got
uh,
Yo.
that's
got you.
wild.
That's wild.
But no, but it's like I don't view like having intercourse as a way of me necessarily like learning more about you. I guess I want to say. I think yeah, it's more me learning about you, like your body, what you like, what you don't like, things of that nature, and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
But
I'm talking about fully picking up like on a few of shorty characteristics, say shit. Like I ain't gonna say, anything to
Maybe
go
a little
crazy.
angrier,
A little bit
maybe a
angry,
little
like
bit more sensitive or
yeah, you
something,
dealing with a petty shorty. All of a sudden, you start finding yourself being a little bit more petty too, shorty. Like you feel
Yeah.
me?
okay, then yeah,
Picking
okay,
up habits
yeah,
and shit.
okay. Now I see your
Yeah.
Yeah,
point, because there are times to where
and that will only happen with somebody feel me? I'm
yeah,
doing that with like.
Hmm.
okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I see your point. So yes, I have. My bad.
Okay.
I thought differently.
Okay. And I think that also, I think that's a big part of it because, but like Rex said, it's really about the context at the end of the day because like if you're with a woman that has 30 bodies and she got those bodies because she's a corn star and she's raw dogging, like she's bringing them bodies to you, in my opinion. Or like, come on now, like I can't be with that. But if a woman has, let's say, 25 bodies, but her bodies is from her actually trying to find a man that would fucking care about her, but unfortunately those bodies didn't really care for her as they should have, and they just humped and dumped. Like, you feel me? I might be a little different. Like, okay, well, you feel me? I mean, like, you're not out here just being crazy. You was out here doing something valid from what you're telling me. So it's a different context. It's a different feel versus the first scenario.
Yeah, and it also depends on my intentions with the woman too, type shit. Like if I don't see it for the long run, then yeah, like felt like as a self defense mechanism, type shit. Like I kind of know not to get my emotions involved. It is what it is, type shit.
But I think back back to one of the initial questions, I think both are kind of equal, but women sometimes do get attached or do get to reminiscent or do get too emotional when they have stacks on stacks on stacks. So I think that's a an additional downfall, I would say. But it's all on your preference, man. It gets down to the preference. What you finna tolerate, what you're not gonna tolerate. What can you take, what can you not take? Pause. You feel me?
Yeah,
And
Rex need a veteran. I'm
tragic,
reiterate that word.
tragic as hell. But like I always say, does body count really need to matter? Yes
As an
and no.
adult, I don't think. Oh, sorry.
My bad.
No, I was gonna say I don't think it needs to matter, but I think it matters sometimes.
Yeah, I
It,
always
it
say
matters like if I see a potential future with you, I ain't gonna hold you. Or especially like if we from
Word.
the same city and shit, like yeah, I'm gonna need I'm gonna need to know a little bit more info because, like, God forbid, I don't want to walk into the same room as one of your potential. For me,
I
I
always
don't
say
want to
it's
walk in the same room with one of your former kills. Say shit.
I always say
I see
about
y'all niggas hugging. I do the side to side shit. Oh my heart.
I always say it's usually in regards to not how many people you slept with, but who you slept with in regards. Because it's like if you slept with niggas who potentially are on BS, and it's like all right, that kind of explains a lot about your character because you kind of just let any and everybody just walk through. But if you have some set standard to where it's like okay, this guy was going to school to be a doctor type shit, and some entrepreneurial type movement. And it's like, okay, maybe I can see exactly where you're coming from, but not to stray on this topic for too long, because I do want to cover the next thing that Unc had mentioned. He says, why do some humans let astrology determine who they date? Okay, well, I'm gonna say this, and I want everybody. I need everybody to open up their ears, cause niggas is dumb.
Yeah, get close to the mic. Yeah.
I need y'all to hear me on this one. If you generally let an astrology sign, a star, a quasar, a galaxy,
I got 2 words for you.
You stupid. You are dumb, and I hope you understand how dumb you are for letting that thing determine who you should date and who you should not date. Because guess
what?
How
scared I've been to say my sign, bro, because of this shit. Like, you know how scared I've been. They be like, yo, what's your sign, Rex? I'm like, nah, we not doing this. Then they're like, wow, you nervous? Then I say my sign. Then they be like, oh, that's why you act the way how you act. No, bitch. You're bugging.
Man, I agree. I think that shit is overrated. I'm about to say something so unpopular right now, but like me personally speaking, as Celeste, like I understand what it is, but I don't follow that shit. You can't ask me what sign this person is based on, like, you can't. I just think it's a whole bunch of stuff that people have in common. Like, you're born around the same time. Okay, you have a few traits in common. That's what I think it is. But if you base your life and your relationship off that, you're dumb. You're dumb. Respectfully, you need to learn something else. Like, that's not the way to go, in my opinion.
Like you're bugging. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're there's something that has to be wrong, right? Because I understand we all go through bad relationships and whatnot. We all have our issues. We all have our problems. We all dealt with things differently and things of that nature. But if you were to answer me, oh, what's your zodiac sign? And I tell you, you say, oh, well, I can't date you because I've dated someone who had that same sign before, and he did me wrong. What that nigga got to do with me? I'm not him.
You have an issue. You have an underlying issue.
So I'm gonna need y'all to seek therapy, seek help. Yes, I'm speaking closer to my mic because you know why? Because I don't think y'all really hearing me though, right? So I gotta make sure that y'all get this underlying. I need y'all to make sure y'all understand this is get some help, seek help. Hey, therapy is a thing. Even if you don't want to go do therapy, find something positive. Because if you looking up at the stars and you looking at chart signs and all this other stuff, like who cares what AM sign I am, what PM sign I am, what lunch sign I am? No one cares. Guess what? That's not gonna help me. That don't help me. I don't get paid off of that. And for who all do get paid, and y'all do this shit just for the money's sake, and y'all don't care about other people's well-being of all life, I should snuff you. So, I'm done with that.
You and your charge, you can kick rocks.
Word.
But yeah, that's just my take on it. You know, if you believe an astrology sign is gonna determine whether you have a good match with somebody or whatnot, I hope all 12 of them fuck you over in some type of way so you can end up lonely. Respectfully coming from Prince. And if you don't like it, well, make sure to like, comment, subscribe this podcast, and tune into the Sensational Gang and join the Discord. Then you can voice your opinion there.
Facts.
You heard what my man said, and if you don't know, well, now you know.
You know.
But yeah, that's just my take. You know, what questions are we supposed to be answering? Again, anything you want, Moon, that I can probably answer or that we can probably talk about and whatnot. But until someone else has something, I do have some more topics that we can discuss.
Wait, before we leave this, so we're on astrology and shit. You feel me? Do you all believe
in the boogeyman
that we have been outer space, that we have been to the moon, that we have shit on Mars? What y'all think about that?
I say till it's proven type shit. Feel me? Like let's just be going, continue going with the flow. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like it's selfish to think like we the only niggas say shit that got living. Got a society and shit. Or they gotta be something else out of there.
Repeat that, Meek. I was saying, do you believe that we have been to the moon? Do you believe that we have, rovers and bases on Mars? What do you think about the whole, you feel me, traveling out of space? We investing billions into space, but we don't even know 100% about the ocean. Like, what you think about that, Meech? We aren't the only humans in the galaxy. Okay. Prince, what do you think?
Like how narcissistic it is, like the thing, like we the only ones say shit. That's how I feel on it. Like,
do I believe there are other
we haven't
organisms?
even really experienced the rest of space for real, for real. Or better yet, the ocean, like you said, say shit. So like, we'll know, like, for me, further down the line, for real, take shit. But yeah,
Facts. But do I believe there's other organisms that live out in space? Oh yeah, most definitely. you talking about how the universe is constantly expanding and there's multiple galaxies out there, and then just so happenly we're the only living organisms breathing and
like I'm
whatnot out
waiting
in
for our
space.
tournament of power. I can't front.
We are going to lose.
Nah, we front niggas type shit.
I,
You bugging? You got Chuck Norris.
I don't know what you think is out there.
That tournament too. I'm winning.
We winning type shit. You bugging?
Niggas about to get snuffed by a xenomorph and think shit's sweet. Yeah, y'all do know Alien vs. Predator is a thing, right? And there's multiple series about it.
Bro, that's all our imagination running wild. We don't really know how them motherfuckers look. They could look like me and you.
But yeah, that's just my take.
That'd be some shit, right?
That'd be a wild.
Man, that'd be some shit. Imagine if I had a twin alien. I'd try to get along with her. She looked just like me.
Imagine we the aliens, gangster.
Crazy.
So this is a question from and whatnot. He said, "How long could you be in a relationship with someone without any progress? Meaning, some people are dating for 10+ years and not getting a ring on their finger." Well, Celeste, due to you being the one who I know who has the longest relationship amongst people within my peer group, what's your take?
Well, I have been in a relationship for 7 years.
That means leave her alone.
I mean, me personally speaking, my relationship started very early. So nowadays, we still are making progress because the older you get, you're not going to be the same as you were when you're 15, when you're 20, when you're 22. So, I think two things come into play. Are you guys really not making any progress? Like, are you just saying that because it's been 10 years and you guys aren't married yet? Do you guys have children? Like, do you guys know each other? Are you guys comfortable with each other? I would hope so because y'all been dating for 10 years. But in my walk of life, my 10-year mark is coming up pretty soon. And I don't know if I'll be ready for marriage at that time. But I think if you're not making any progress in your relationship, then things have to change or you guys have to find other people. But if you're just in a relationship for 10 years and you haven't been married and you want to be married and your goal was to be married by year 10, then you need to do some assessing. You need to see what the problem is. Like, why are we not moving? Why is he not proposing? Is it something I'm doing wrong? Is it something she's doing wrong? So, yeah, that's how I feel about it. I hope I answered that right. So, Celeste, how long could you wait before getting married? I tell my partner all the time because nowadays a lot of shit comes into play with marriage. Like, There has been a lot of failed marriages. There has been a lot of successful marriages. How long could I wait? I've never really thought about a time limit. I tell my partner that we can be engaged for a while. Like I don't mind being engaged for like, this might sound crazy, but like maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years. Like I can be engaged for that long, but how long could I wait before getting married? Wait, I think I just got that. Honestly, I want to be married by the time I'm like 30, I guess. So that's 10 years from now, if you're asking me. But I've never really thought about it a time, but I do know my end goal is to get married and have beautiful children.
Shout out to Celeste. I would say it kind of just depends on the relationship, because there's some instances where I'm just like, I don't. So I may have conversations with different women who I may have interest in and whatnot. A lot of them may be on the scope of, oh, well, I do want to get married and I want to have a wedding and things of that nature. And there's others who like, I generally don't care to get married. And, if me and the person who I'm with are, long term partners and that's where we are, then that's where we are. At the end of the day, it's like, I don't want to have to go through a court system or all this other stuff or need a ring to signify who I'm in love with and who I want to spend the rest of my life with. So it kind of just varies upon person to person, because I've heard both instances, and there's other times where I heard, people just generally just want to have a ring on their finger. So kind of all depends.
W marriage.
W successful marriages, but like I said, you feel me, a whole bunch of shit comes into play. Like you do have to go to the court. Most people have big weddings or whatever type of wedding you want to have. And then there comes other topics like prenuptial agreements. If shit don't work out, then you got child support, then you got X, Y, and Z. So I think marriage is really complicated, especially if you are extremely young or not ready for it. But I mean, 10 years down the line, if you were thinking that you're going to get married and your partner still hasn't proposed, then y'all need to have that talk and assess to see if it's just a problem or just not ready, or what the case may be. But like, if we're together for like 15 years and I have kids with you and I'm, doing things that a wife should do, then I might have some question marks, you know. But that's a conversation that will need to be had with me and my partner. So that's what I think about that topic.
Very understandable. Rex and Rex did. Never mind. All right. So what do I say? Oh, Celeste, since you are here, and you are a woman, that I feel like is very knowledgeable about what she may say. Moon, I'm not sure if you're usually free. I think you're at work around this time, but you can state your opinion too. So earlier within the podcast, we did talk about the word female, right? And all that good stuff. Someone wants to come up. Give me a second. Bet. And all that good stuff. So you want to kind of get your opinion upon whether or not do you think the word female is considered disrespectful and or slur?
Can I backtrack to what Celeste was saying earlier?
Yeah, you can.
Just a little bit ago.
So just put a pause on that, Celeste. My bad. But yeah, go ahead.
All right. So Celeste, what was the context in the whole marriage situation? Like, I'm at work, so I wasn't really listening, but I heard like the end part.
Like, on the context, you'll probably have to ask Prince, but I know Meech asked a question about like you're 10 years in a marriage and there's no progress, and then he gave some examples. So Prince would probably have to repeat it.
Which is no problem.
I just like. Sorry.
Oh no, I say which is no problem.
I was just trying to see like did the person say at the beginning of the marriage, like, yo, I don't want to get married, but I do like or love you, and I look forward to staying, the rest of my life with you, or more so of said person wasn't too sure if they want to get married or not, even 10 years in.
So
That's just what I was trying to find.
so mainly context behind it is, say you are dating someone for 10 plus years, whatever the case may be, but as far as that timescape, like no one has proposed, or there hasn't been very much of a talk in regards to getting engaged, things of that nature. No, fuck up my headphones. So mainly what we were discussing or we were talking about is that, um, you know, for Celeste, and if she wants to reiterate herself, she can. But she was saying her piece on how currently right now she doesn't feel ready, or she's not fully prepared in regards to taking that step into the next
Right.
evolvement of her relationship. So reminder that Celeste is younger than most of us. You know, she talks like she could be within the same age group. She is about a smooth
20, a
20 year
little
old.
kid, I guess, whatever.
So you can kind of see her point on that, on why she feels like, oh, I'm not ready to take that next step into getting engaged to, or having marriage and stuff like that. Like, I still want to wait some time compared to other people who might have been together for 10 plus years, could be like pushing their 30s, maybe going to the 40s, but that still has yet to be a thing of, well, I want to get married, or, I'm not aiming for it, and things like that.
Right, retirement. So I was saying, like, because Meech also asked, like, what is the maximum amount of time that I could wait? Me personally, I haven't thought about the maximum amount of time that I would wait to question why we aren't married yet. But I think what you said is very valid. Like, has that conversation been had already? Is that both of is that both parties' end goal to get married, or has that even been discussed? Are you not ready? Like, what the case may be. So if you're 10 years in a relationship, or me personally, I would probably ask, like, if I've been dating someone for 15 years and I have children with them, and I'm, you know, taking on responsibilities as a wife, then I may question, like, hey, what's going on? What would our next steps be? But it is as of now known to my partner that I do want to get married eventually. And I also mentioned that I would be engaged for a while before actually signing those documents, because a whole bunch of shit comes with that, including what the fuck you put on your taxes, like, and like what is my relationship and my marriage have to do with my taxes, like, that's just me thinking. But yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you want to say anything else. Sorry.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you for clearing it up. Like I said, I'm at work, so I haven't really been listening too hard, but I do catch the end. So I just wanted to clear that up real quick.
No problem, no problem. Again, like I always say, if maybe, bad timing, granted that I kind of don't really know a set timing to when to do the podcast and whatnot. I kind of just schedule for this because it's more so my free moment and whatnot. You can always listen to it on YouTube. I do put it in self promo, so always check that out if you do want to catch the full scope. And if there is an available time that works best for where people can tune in more and whatnot, you can always let me know, and I can make proper adjustments best way possible. But yeah, but I
Or
but I am going to move you back down to the audience, Jay. I'm not sure if there's anything else you want to piggyback off of or state before I do. Nope. Okay, moving back. So yeah. So back to what we were.
Email.
Yeah. So Celeste, say your significant other, right, goes out and comes back. You ask, oh, where you been? You being the caring person that I assume you are, and whatnot. And you then ask, and or not ants, but then he states like, oh, I just hung out with a couple of my female friends. Like, do you take the word female as something that's degrading or things of that nature, or is it just kind of like another word just being used?
I think, me personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with the word female. I mean, nowadays we have people that go by other titles. So if they go by something else, then out of respect, you should probably address them as such. But generally speaking, if it's just a female, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it because he could have dead ass said I was with my bitches, like, so I think it's a good word. And I know Moon put that question in here too, hanging out with your female friends. I think as long as they're just female friends, and I would feel even better who you were with. But yeah, as far as degrading, I think it's respectful and an authentic term.
Okay, cool. So the mind of a woman. Not mad about it. Not mad about it. So remotely, we've got about 20 minutes left of the pod. Because again, I don't like to do this shit for more than roughly 2 hours. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who can talk for that long. Because I damn sure don't. So I do just have one thing that I kind of want to close out. It could take about the whole 20 minutes or so, and whatnot. But the question is, or the closing question is, what is something that you've done as an adult that you'd be proud of if you were younger? Celeste, since you are our beloved guest, if you want to go last, by all means. But to kick it off, I would say something I have done as an adult that my younger self would have been proud of. Probably getting into the set field that I kind of went towards, and also I guess doing YouTube for a sense, because you grow up pretty much watching YouTube videos like Dashy and like T Pendel and the people who make the skits when you were younger, and kind of like the relatable things in life. So doing that now, I guess this is kind of a new feeling. Granted, I'm not popular like them, so don't get me wrong. Nigga don't got that. Nigga don't got that much under his
Not
belt.
yet, not yet, but soon, soon, soon.
True. And all that good stuff. But just being able to do it, to be able to share that type of stuff and have these things kind of like the podcast, or even if it's like gaming videos up to where it can brighten up someone's mood, or at least give someone some insight on life, or have someone to be able to listen to and kind of just understand a little better. It's all a work in progress, but I'm happy for those achievements.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. W Prince, shout out to you, because even this podcast, shout out to the podcast, man. Like I told Prince earlier, I do not take this lightly because it be the smallest visions that turn into the biggest things. So definitely shout out to Prince. And W question, I think that's a very important question. My answer to that question, I think of two things. Unfortunately, I had to grow up much faster than my peers, and I went through a lot more hardships than some of my peers. So I would say definitely number one would be providing for myself and actually like maintaining on my own. And the second thing I think of is actually being a Twitch affiliate, because I've been doing YouTube since I was a kid. Not consistently, of course, but I've been doing YouTube since I was a kid. So I haven't got monetized on that platform yet, but I was fortunate enough to get monetized on Twitch. So I think younger me would be like, go off, sis, now bring them viewers to your YouTube channel and keep going. So that's my answer to that question.
And me.
Yeah. W answers. For me, I would say like as of right now, younger me will be proud of me right now because like right now because I'm doing me, and also the fact I'm like I'm like trying to like pursue, I guess, for this little music thing I'm doing. Because like for me, music saved my life like for a lot. Because I used to like I go through mental problems and shit like that, depression and shit. So it's like music helped me a lot, and now that like I'm trying to like make my own music the way I wanted to do it. So it's like younger me will probably be like, he'll be lit right now. He'll be lit as fuck right now.
W music, and I 100% feel you when you say that, man. Like music, it's got me through some of my roughest times. So W on the come up.
Yeah, and that was just my closing statement. So for all those who may listen to the pod and hear that, you can leave your answers in the comments, or discuss it with family, friends, whatever the case may be. Is this something that most of your parents should be hearing? I don't know. It depends on how cool your parents are, because we do curse a lot in here and all that good stuff. But that was kind of it for everything for the podcast. Shout out to Celeste for being here. I understand she may feel down and out because she showed up late, whatever the case may be. People got things to do, and the show must continue. But I do appreciate you for being here. Like I said, you are always welcome to show up and speak on the panel. Yeah. And
yes, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I am really beating myself up because I'm late, but I know you guys had a great episode, and I cannot wait for the episode to drop so I can watch the beginning. So make sure y'all tune in. Shout out to everyone that has listened to the end. And thank you so much again, Prince, for having me. I do not take this lightly. This is such a beautiful vision.
This nigga Meech is wilding already. Nigga said, do you have a cousin or a sister or
hey, no. Plain and simple. No. But shout out to Meek for being here. Shout out W co-host. Appreciate you, my guy, even though I don't say it enough. I do appreciate you. Shout out to the audience listeners who are able to attend and answer questions and topics and whatnot and be engaging with us and all this other stuff. And hey, for anybody who hears this, you can join too. Just hit the Sensational Discord link in the description. You can join in. You can join the podcast, speak on the panel, answer questions, meet new people, bond, all that good stuff, blah, blah, and things of that nature. Shout out to my best friend. Again, today is her birthday, so shout out to her. By the time this episode does air, her birthday would already pass, but shout out to her.
Happy birthday!
Happy glow day.
Tragic. But that is mainly everything for the pod today. I do understand some people did want to speak on topics, but work and things of that nature can knock their hustle. So I do hope everybody has a wonderful day, have a blessed day, and all that good stuff. As Meek always says, he didn't say it this time, but he's probably going to say it regardless. Check up on your folks. Oh, I'm gonna let you take that spotlight because that's your thing.
All right. Like I said, for the past 5 episodes, check on your peoples, check on your homies. You never know what they be going through, and mental health is a big issue, especially with men and young boys. Just check on your peoples. You never know. That's it.
Facts. Oh yeah, and also, stating point. Make sure that going into next year, y'all aim for the goals y'all are striving for. Let's have more positive energy. Let's get to this money. You feel me? And all that good stuff. So
Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful year and we're going up. I hope we just go up. Fuck up.
Feel that. But I am your host, So Fresh Prince. I have me here. You will all catch us next time, probably around the same time as usual. Hopefully that we can get Celeste for the full duration and whatnot. If she decides to come back, she doesn't always have to come up here. Maybe she gets sick and tired of us. I highly doubt, but all that good stuff. But again, check her out on Twitch and YouTube, Famous Celeste, and all that good stuff to stay up to her content and what she does on I won't say daily, but weekly type shit and whatnot. But this is the As a Man podcast, episode 5. I will catch you all next time, roughly around the same time, and have a blessed day. Deuces.
Yes, sir.
Get sturdy, pussy. Magic. I fell in love with a witch and it's true. She far from average. I don't want to be with nobody if it ain't you. This shit is madness. All of this sadness. I'm tired.